Salute, salute, salute. Boxing after dark with nocturnal thoughts. Look, it's official. Errol Spence Jr., the truth, versus Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Truth be told, um, I'm not going to get very, very excited about this fight. This fight puts me in sort of a conundrum. I have such a high respect level for Manny Pacquiao and also a high respect level for Errol Spence that this is going to be sort of a tough fight, and I'm really going to just sit this one out and let it play out and let the best man win. I'll be honest with you. Um, I feel like most likely Errol Spence would be victorious. Um, and I don't count Manny Pacquiao out. I hear so many people talking about the age gap, and I don't look at it that way. Um, I look at Manny Pacquiao's age equivalating more to wisdom and experience. I do take under consideration how much more war, wear, and tear he has on him. But I look at Errol Spence, who has experience, but still less, still less experience, still some things he is learning and implementing. But I think he's fought the right opponents to have the right components to have enough skills to defeat Manny Pacquiao. Um, I still feel like Errol Spence, as far as his boxing skills, are just being overlooked. And they say skills pay the bills. I feel like Errol Spence will be able to slow this fight down, establish ring generalship, establish dominance, fight the fight at his pace. And I think that's what it is, man. I think it's a numbers game, it's boxing, and it boils down to who's going to come into the fight with a better game plan, establish ring generalship, be more defensively responsible, and who's going to have the more polarizing shots that's going to captivate the judge's attention. I don't know if it's going to be a knockout or even knockdowns. I can see Manny Pacquiao knocking Errol Spence off balance. I could see in the later rounds Errol Spence overpowering Manny Pacquiao and TKO or KOing him. I can see it, but I'm not going to call it in that fashion. I just want to see a good fight and let the best man win. Um, some things I point out is Errol Spence training back with Blu-ray. I think that makes a big difference. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think he was just a better fighter, way better conditioned, brought a better package to the ring when he was training with Blu-ray, in my opinion. Now people say like, okay, uh, George Foreman, look what he did against Michael Moore. And I look at it like that when I was young and I first saw that, even now sometimes when I watch it, them slow motion punches that just had everything behind him, knocking out Michael Moore, and the look on his face, you know what I'm saying? But even that, I can't compare that to this. Like George Foreman was retired for a very long time, came back older, bald head, with a lot more weight on him, and he still, I mean, that's George Foreman. He was a warrior. He looked great against Evander Holyfield for his age and for the fact that, you know, um, Evander Holyfield was in his prime. Michael Moore just wasn't ready for that old school, old man power. I know a little bit about old man power. You know what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? Um, but I ain't never seen Manny Pacquiao get out of shape. And I ain't never seen Manny Pacquiao take as much time off as George Foreman. Manny Pacquiao looked phenomenal against Keith Thurman. He didn't look as great against AB. Styles make fights. What would AB do in the ring against Keith Thurman? I think Keith Thurman gets the best of AB. AB said Keith Thurman was up late at night still gambling before he went in the ring with Manny Pacquiao. Keith Thurman didn't look that great against Jose Zito Lopez. He looked like he was weak in the gut, like Tom Poe. Or not Tom Poe, Chong Li. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he was weak in the gut like Chong Li from Bloodsport, to be honest. Keith Thurman came in that fight overconfident, underestimating his opponent, jaw-jacking, and came in there, got embarrassed in front of his wife. That was the first time her watching him. That was the first time she came to one of his fights. He got embarrassed. He came back. He had some great rounds. He did show that Manny Pacquiao is human. He did hit Manny Pacquiao with some flush hard shots, and Manny Pacquiao, like the Pac-Man he is, 8 shots and kept coming and hurt him in his body, hurt Keith Thurman in his body. But Keith Thurman is not Errol Spence. Adrian Broner had a better performance against Manny Pacquiao. Adrian Broner, who's gun shy, who's more worried about, his waves looking on point versus his jab being on point. And no disrespect to Adrian Broner, but Adrian Broner, he's no Errol Spence. If Errol Spence is 100, he's training with Blu-ray. He's focused on his diet. He's staying in shape. He's under the tutelage of Derek James. He's still training with heavy hitters like Jermell Charlo. He's in his prime. He has great boxing skills. He can box like he boxed with Mikey. He can brawl like he brawled with Sean Porter. He can fight with a counterpuncher like Danny Garcia. I give him an edge. I give him more advantages. And I still see Manny Pacquiao could do what a lot of people say he can't do. And it's not because, he's 42. Because I don't look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? I think Manny Pacquiao just has that belief in himself. He stays in shape. He stays in beast mode. He's an animal. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing, Father Time is undefeated. I give you that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Manny Pacquiao is going to be fast. He's going to be in and out, on angles, boxing, throwing punches from every which way. Of course, he's going to slow down eventually. Look, like I said, I'm not excited about this fight. It's a great fight for boxing, and nobody loses. Much respect and mad props go out to Manny Pacquiao. Nothing but salute and respect goes out to Errol Spence Jr. I think it's a great fight, but I'm not going to lock in on it and assess it for everything for what it is, unless I see some really super bad training footage where I can be like, man, look at how Manny Pacquiao even looks even faster. His calves got even bigger. You know what I'm saying? His punches got even, if I start seeing that, if I see, because like, come on, man, I seen Manny Pacquiao when he beat Miguel Cotto, when Miguel Cotto was a beast. I seen him when he beat De La Hoya to a pulp. I seen him when he beat Margarito up. I seen him when he, I seen most of all of Manny Pacquiao fights, and I seen him I didn't have to go watch him on YouTube. We watched all his fights as they happened. And I remember when he beat up Cotto, I was in a daze. I was like, how is this happening right before my eyes? Cotto's face was just transforming. You know what I'm saying? So nothing that Manny Pacquiao could do would surprise me. I would not be surprised if he was to, defeat Errol Spence. I would be nonchalantly surprised. I would say, hey man, that's Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? But being that I paid close attention to Errol Spence, seeing the majority of his fights with Chris Algieri, seeing Manny Pacquiao fight Chris Algieri, seeing Manny Pacquiao fight Jeff Horn, seeing Manny Pacquiao fight Timothy Bradley, you know what I'm saying? Seeing Manny Pacquiao fight Adrian Broner and Keith Thurman, and then to see Errol Spence, fight the smaller list of guys he fought, and to see what he's done after his accident and fighting against Danny Garcia, and knowing that he's going to get better. So I know he's going to bring a better version of himself when he fights Manny Pacquiao. If that's what's really going down, then I just have to say, you know, most likely at the end of the fight, Errol Spence would have his hand raised. And I heard that Manny Pacquiao got reinstated with his belts. I didn't see that coming. I think that's kind of cool. I think that's dope in a certain way. I don't know if that's 100% factual. I got to see what I need to do to read that to make sure the resources are completely legit. But for Manny Pacquiao to get reinstated and for a belt to be on the line for a unification, then that makes this fight more solid to me. I don't know why the Manny Pacquiao versus Terrence Bud Crawford situation dissolved. I didn't hear about Manny Pacquiao getting his belts back to fight Terrence Bud Crawford, because even if that would have been the case, I would have still been on the same level with Manny Pacquiao fighting Terrence Bud Crawford and almost giving you the same exact energy right now. Like, it's a good fight. Kudos to Terrence Bud Crawford and to Manny Pacquiao, but I would expect for Terrence Bud Crawford to be able to, dig deep and rise to the occasion to beat even a legend like Manny Pacquiao. I expect Errol Spence to be able to dig deep and rise to the occasion. I think he's going to have to put his foot on the pedal. It's not a cruise. It's not going to be a cakewalk. It's going to be an uphill mountain climb, but I expect that a prime Errol Spence should be able to make it to the peak of that mountain and look over victoriously. That's what I expect. But also, Manny Pacquiao is a threat. Salute YouTube. Salute Boxing YouTube Reverse. And Caps in Full. Caps in Full. Go subscribe to Caps in Full. I can't wait to see his intake on this fight, because he is a Manny Pacquiao fan, fanatic, super fan to the highest level. You know what I'm saying? And look, Caps in Full, I'm coming for you. No, I'm just playing, man. I want to see what your intake will be. I can't wait to chop it up with Caps in Full, and I want to see Blood Boxing's take on this fight. But I'm not going to watch a whole bunch of different content from other channels, because I just don't really synchronize with some of their stuff. It's going to be stuff that I don't either relate to, or it's going to be kind of vanilla, bland, no taste. This to me is not just the greatest great. Even Showbiz the Adult, who usually gets me excited, I was not even excited. I clicked off a Showbiz the Adult video. I was like, man, look, man, this is a cool fight, but I don't understand all this junk. I get it, man. Manny Pacquiao is a legend, and Errol Spence, I'm welterweight, pound for pound, number one, or welterweight, number one welterweight. It's going to be a great fight, but I'm just not that excited and hyped about it. The dynamic of it just puts me in a conundrum. It puts me in a pickle. I'm not going to look at a legend like Manny Pacquiao in any kind of disrespectful way and call him different. I'm not super excited about this fight. Let's just get it done and let the best man win. And let's move on to Terrence Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence. That's what I'm excited about. And it still seems like we're not no closer to getting that. You dig what I'm saying? That's a fight that I can really sink my teeth into. because I've been hearing so much shit for so long about it. So if it ain't that, then to me it's just another day in the office. You dig what I'm saying? Anyways, I'm out, man. I hate taking up all y'all time. Time is the most precious commodity. I'm gone, man. Salute, man. Peace out.